1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't lived the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in they Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters don't move, whatever click you choose.
What's cracking YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a pro violation. You're down. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing right there on that intro. And if you want to get that song, hit me up on my email at 16thelifemusic@gmail.com, and I'm going to give you the information on how to get it. Now, let's get right into today's video, man. So, once again, man, we back. We tapped in with the Swang Low podcast and my partner, man, Crip. Shout out to Crip, man. So today I'm gonna be reacting to a cold story that he talks about, man. It is a cold twist, and that's all I'm gonna say. Let's get right to the video.
That's why I wanted to bring this stuff to y'all, man. And I feel absolutely horrible every time when I'm not on this camera, on this platform with y'all, right? My case, bro, is first and foremost. Me gaining my freedom back, that's priority. You just don't know. So every time I go through this paperwork, it takes me right back to 1995, 31 years ago. My 21-year-old self fighting these serious charges. I was 21 years old. Charged with multiple homicides. And he was trying to put all kind of shit on me. Like I said, it was 30 witnesses coming to court against me, testifying against me. 30. They wanted me off the streets bad because like I said, I was a gang member.
Now, of course, I didn't went to trial myself for some serious charges, right? But I'm gonna just keep it 100, man. If you hear you got 30 witnesses coming to court against you, that has to be devastating and discouraging news, because at some point, man, the jury has to hear all this stuff. And we got to keep in mind that the people on the jury are not gang members. And so when they hear this constant bombardment, basically, of people coming in, talking about you, saying this, saying that, you have to feel like, damn, there's just, it's no way I can beat this stuff, even if I'm innocent, because of the influx of witnesses. So, and keep in mind, he said he's 21 years old. And so it's definitely just man, if you have never been to trial and had to go to court to fight for your life, I might just be wasting my time. That's something you would have to experience to actually understand the depth of what I'm saying.
Period. And it takes one to know one, a real one. And I say that for a reason. Okay, now look, like I said, when I go through this stuff, I feel horrible because it was a lot of things that took place that transpired in regards to this case. Right? And I remember going to trial, right? Going to trial. And I remember sitting in court and them giving some information saying that one of my homeboys was supposed to have been telling on me, right?
Now I'm gonna stop it right there, right? Because I experienced a similar situation, right? I go to trial and it's revealed that a dude is telling on me. Now, this dude was not one of my homeboys. He was an individual that I met in the county jail. And He was an older Crip who I revealed some information to in relation to my case, and he wrote the district attorney and said, hey man, I know this information about Chill. I'm trying to go home fast, and so I'm fist to tell on Chill's ass. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, when the information is revealed, it was just like, damn, I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because at this time I'm young, I'm cripping, and you assume everybody else around you has the same level of dedication that you have. And so just to find out that you have been betrayed by an individual who was supposed to be a part of the same select group that you're a part of is devastating. But anyway, let's get back to what he's talking about.
Or giving some testimony or statement or something, right? I remember this. And I remember hearing this. Now, mind you, this person that they said was telling on me, right? This is my young homie. This is somebody that lived right around the corner from me in my hood. This is somebody that he was in my immediate clique. Right? This ain't somebody that just popped up on the scene and you know what I'm saying? Nah, this is somebody that I really, really knew.
So his situation is different from mine because, like he's saying, this is a dude who he knew. You know, the dude who was telling on me was somebody I had just met recently. So for him to hear that news, I'm sure he was extremely shocked. He couldn't believe it, and of course, you hurt. You know, because if you trust the individual and allow this dude into your circle and you guys talk about things and you guys do things that's supposed to remain in the streets, to hear that this information has been revealed, whether you agree with the activities or not, because keep in mind, everybody involved in these gangs and stuff are willing participants, right? A dude has made the same type of bond and oath to the streets that you have, right? And so to hear that this dude has betrayed you, and this dude is trying to take away your life, essentially, because when you're young, that's how you view it. Like, man, you trying to take away my life. You may not even be considering the things that you may have put in forth to also help take away your life, right? Because at the end of the day, this is a game that we have all agreed to play. It's like a game of football. I make this analogy often. When we agree to this, as long as I hit you inside the lines, as long as what I do to you is within the scope of the game, it's all fair.
It blew me out the water when this was said about him, right? And mind you, this same person that day while I'm at court is downstairs in the holding tank with me during this time when I find this information out.
Now, I'm going to try to interrupt as least as possible, but god damn, man, I know he was steaming. What, you mean to tell me that this motherfucker that's right downstairs, right motherfucking now, this motherfucker is telling? Oh my God, I know he couldn't wait to get downstairs.
I had just left him. So when I'm hearing this, I'm like, he's right downstairs in the tank with me. What the fuck? Right? So bam. Now, it's just all kind of explosives just going off in my head.
And I'm not trying to make a joke of this, right? But I'm sure he's thinking, kill this nigga, get this nigga, hurt this nigga, break him in two, all types of shit. Because once again, man, this is a select club. You know, when you young, you immature, you know, back in the 80s, man, gang bang central, you know, I like to call it traditional gang banging, and it was off the chain, regardless of, once again, if you agree with what was going on, man. But for those individuals, and everybody's level of dedication is different, but for those individuals who really took this life and this lifestyle as something sacred, it's extremely hurtful and painful to be told on.
I'm 21 years old, man. Right? I don't know what to think. I don't know what to feel. I don't know. I'm just lost, right? So bam, after the court proceedings, they take me back down to the holding tank. Before they put me back in that tank, because me and him and a few more of my homies was in there together. Before they take me back down there, they pull bro out the tank. This person that they were saying telling on me from my community, right? They pull him out. So I'm like, this shit got to be true if they're doing this. And he looking at me like, what's going on? Right? And I just look at him, right? And you know, what can I say? So bam, I go inside the tank. My other homies that's in there, right? I'm like, bro, I said, man. So I'm telling them what I had just found out. They like, what? Hell no. Hell no. Ain't no way. Hell no. I don't believe that. This is what they saying. It ain't no second guessing, none of that, right? This is what the feedback that I'm getting from my homeboys, from my hood, right? When I tell them this information about bro supposed to be making a statement, telling on me, right?
Now let me pause the video. So now when he revealed this information to his homeboys about this other particular homeboys, his other homeboys trust in the individual's character enough to say, no, man, can't be. Because they know this dude, they have lived with this dude, they have been around this dude, they have seen this dude do things that just makes them think that this information has to be contrary to their opinions of this dude. Because once again, like I said, back in those days, everybody just wasn't allowed to come hang out and represent. You had to have long showed some type of actions and behavior in your history of being in that community that you was allowed to come hang out and do what the Crips do. So when they hear this, they can't believe it. But once again, the courts have gave Do-Rock Creep this information, and Do-Rock Creep is like, no, man, this dude is telling.
So bam, I say, you see, they just pulled him out the tank. And from that day, when they pulled him out the tank, they kept us separated. We was keepaways. Now, see, that's what they do. Well, that's what they did in the Los Angeles County Jail. When you got somebody that's telling on you, this is how it was back then. I don't know how it is now. You got somebody telling on you. They're going to put them in a part of the county jail where you're not going to see them. The only time you're going to see them is when you go to court, right? So I didn't see him no more after that day, right? So bam. So they like, man, the homies is like, nah, man. Nah, I'm like, man, I'm telling you what I just heard, what they just told me. I'm telling you now, right? So bam. Now fast forward. I'm going to court. I'm on the Los Angeles County Jail bus. At the Los Angeles County Jail, on my way to court, sitting on the bus, right? Now I'm on the bus with probably like 8 or 9 guys from PDL, from Pasadena, Denver Lane, right? I knew them all, right? So, you know, it was what it was. So, bam, I'm on that bus, and I look out the window, and I see them bringing my homeboy. The sheriff is escorting him. I'm like, oh shit, is they finna put him on this bus, and he's supposed to be telling on me, right? Bam, I immediately pull my handcuff key. Back then, we had handcuff keys, right? Pull that handcuff key out my mouth, bam, came out them handcuffs, and I tell the dudes from PDL, I say, hey, I'm finna get cracking, bro. You know, on one of my homies, you know, he's supposed to be doing this and doing that and blah blah blam, right? So they like, all right, like we ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just letting y'all know. They like, all right, bam. So sure enough, now. When you go to court and they put somebody on the bus like that, right? On those buses, when you first get on that bus, they have cages. They have probably 3 or 4 cages in the front of the bus, and then there's a door that blocks off that section from the back of the bus where everybody is at. And those cages usually are the people that's no good. They put in those cages, right? So bam, I'm thinking, okay, if he come on, they might put him in the cage because we supposed to be keepaways. He's supposed to be telling on me, right? So bam, when he get on the bus, I see the little sheriff lady come unlock the Iron door. I'm like, oh yeah, he finna come back here. I'm finna tear his ass up, right? And sure enough, she opened the door and he come back there, right? So when he see me, he like, Creep, what's up, cuz? He like, man, I don't know what's going on and this and that and blah 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 blah, right? So I'm just standing there looking at him. I'm waiting on the lady, the sheriff, to lock the thing and then walk off the bus because she got to go get some more people, right? So bam, when she locked the thing, I see her walking, and I thought she had got all the way off the bus, right? And as soon as I didn't see her no more, I get off on him. Beep, 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 right? All on the bus. Just so happened, whether she heard it or seen it or nothing, she ran back there, pepper sprayed, all this and that, right? Snatched me and him off the bus, right? Now, I'm going to say this. I was completely wrong. I was wrong about my homie. I found out that he wasn't telling.
Cold motherfucking story.
He wasn't snitching. He done nothing of the kind. They was putting that information out there on him to see how I would respond. That was a test. Right?
Cold motherfucking story, man. Cold story.
Right? Because it was already thrown out there that there was witness intimidation going on within my case. Which, hey man, I'm fighting the case. I don't know nothing about none of that shit, right? All I know is I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my life. I'm trying to get out. You feel me? And if there's people that's lying on me, that's saying that I did this, or did that, right? I'm on your head, point blank, period. You trying to help bury me with these police, no matter who it is. Just so happened, it was bro. When I found out that bro wasn't telling, man, I felt so fucked up. I felt so bad. I called the hood. I'm telling everybody this nigga telling and this and that. I had to go back and clean all that shit up. And homies was telling me, see, I told you that nigga would never do that to you, nigga. That nigga like your little brother, nigga. I told you he wasn't telling this. I had to hear it. I had to eat that. It's fucked up. I still feel bad. I feel horrible as fuck to this day about that. Cause me and bro he be on the show. He be tapped in. Shout out to him. I'm not gonna say his name. Because he's a righteous homie. He didn't deserve to have that shit on him. However, like I said, I was fighting for my life. Period. I had to clean it up and I did. Okay? So this paperwork right here is describing that situation on the bus that day when that incident took place, right? Now, when I say real motherfuckers recognize real motherfuckers no matter.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right here, man. Like I do a lot of times when I react to Do Rock Creep, because I want you guys to go to his page and check his page out, right? So now, just to make sure I'm not getting things wrong, I'm gonna say if. So now what I'm hearing is, if I heard what I thought I heard correctly, the court system, whether that be the Los Angeles court system, the police, the district attorney, all those who work in concert with law enforcement, they intentionally made Creep believe his homeboy was telling. And then they started playing these games like they would do in a normal situation where somebody is telling. They basically kept them away to influence the thinking of Creep, to make him think that his homeboy was telling, because they had heard it was some witness intimidation going on, right? So it wasn't enough that they had charged him with all these different crimes. They still wanted to get him on a smaller charge of witness intimidation. So they go through the shenanigans, right? And they play these games. They, make it seem like his homeboy is telling. And once again, they keep him away. They do all the procedures that they normally do when individuals are telling. And then at some point in time, they put them together. All this stuff is by design, right? All this stuff is by design. When they make mistakes, their intentional mistakes, right? So then they put them back on the bus, and Crip attacks this dude. Now let's just say Crip had got a hold of a weapon and took this dude's life, man. All because the courts want to play a game, and this is the type of crazy shit that goes on, right, man? So like I said, say Crip had got a hold of a weapon. They put these guys on the bus again, and then Crip takes this dude's life. Regardless of the fact that Crip is going to be charged with another case, now this dude, his life is gone. He has to suffer. His family has to suffer, all because of these type of games that law enforcement plays, right? And this is the type of shit that goes on. People think that law enforcement don't play games. They don't lie. Listen, once a crime is committed, law enforcement can do anything outside of physically torturing and beating you to get a confession. People think that the police have to be honest. People think that the police can't lie. The police can't entrap you, but entrapment pertains to something that hasn't been committed. They can't, say, hey man, call you up and say, hey, I got some stuff, man. I'm gonna let you get it for, $500. You can go sell it for $1,700, make you a few dollars. Do you have anybody? That's entrapment. If they propose or hit you with a proposition to go do something illegal. But that's different from after a crime has been committed. The police do not have to be honest. They can lie to you, all types of stuff in order to obtain a confession, man. But this was one of the more colder stories I have heard, because these are the type of games that law enforcement plays. And it was very unfair to the individual, to his homeboy, to paint him as a person who was giving up information. Because I say this all the time, as long as you've been having criminals go to prison, go to jail, so on and so forth, the administration, they know the inner workings of what goes on. They know the same way when they put a dude that has unsavory charges on the main line. They know what's going to happen to this dude if he's been charged of improperly dealing with a minor. They know what's going to happen when they send an individual who has told on somebody, in the midst of other individuals who hasn't. So the way law enforcement and courts and whoever it was played with this other guy's life definitely was foul, inappropriate, and just crazy, man. But anyway, listen, like I said, man, y'all go check out Do Rock Crip. The name of his channel was called the Swang Low Podcast. He has a lot of interesting stories, and the stories are great, right? But what I like about him is his wisdom. The wisdom that he has gained is phenomenal, in my opinion, considering where he has been the last 30 plus years. This dude has been on a level 4, the worst of the worst, around the worst of the worst, staying true to his beliefs, right? Whether you guys agree with it or not, this dude is staying true to his beliefs, and he's doing what he has to do to survive. But also at the same time, he's trying to gain his freedom, which is extremely hard when you are in a situation where things could crack off instantaneously or sporadically or without warning. And so once again, man, the wisdom that he gives to individuals about this whole type of prison life and stuff is very intriguing and fascinating, considering I said once again, he's in the company of the worst, man. So listen, you guys have to go tap into the Swang Low Podcast and check him out, man. Anyway, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life.